I believe that many government officials need a bit of a reminder of what oath they took when they were elected into their position. And also police officers, National Guard. But I'm mainly speaking to the governors and the mayors and these people that all of a sudden feel that they have this power. Remember that whole part of free assembly, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? Remember all those things? They're still in place. If people choose to go out, especially outside on a beach or in a park or to a small business or church, they should absolutely be able to do so. No one is forcing anyone to do anything. So it is not in your best interest, especially if you want to be reelected or have any respect. And there's a lot of military veterans that fought, and many of their family members that fought, their loved ones never came home, that are not happy right now. We didn't just fight for the silliness going on in Iraq and Iran or wherever we were at the time, Afghanistan and whatever. When we join the military, it is to ensure that our country, as our founding fathers wrote it, stays free. And over the last few years, many politicians have taken the liberty upon themselves while certain things are going on and have tried to rip those freedoms away. And they're using this opportunity to do the same thing. Not just the stuff that you see. They're signing stuff behind closed doors where they have you focused on this non-pandemic, while they're signing all kind of craziness. I would essentially go as far as saying they are becoming National Socialist while we have this situation. We currently have had less than 200 people die in a country of 350 million. Let me ask you a question. How many people do you think are going to die? Maybe not physically at this time, but after losing their business, people after losing their jobs. Somebody has already committed suicide. I would imagine it's probably many people because they were so freaked out about this. It's absolutely don't do that. I mean, it's a terrible thing. But the whole definition of socialism is looking out for the greater good of the mission or the people. And that's what you're doing by locking everyone down. While millions of people are freaking out. Probably putting themselves into a frenzy of a heart attack or a stroke. But let me get back to this. There's many of us that are fed up. Veterans, I'm speaking of, and not just veterans, because there's a lot of people that served right alongside of us. and just proud Americans that are getting real fed up with this nonsense. See, if you don't do anything, if people just sit around and don't push back, they'll think that they can do it again and again. And next time it'll be more and more restrictions. But we're not blind. We're not stupid. We see the over 1,000 CEOs that dipped out and took their stocks along with them right before this occurred. We saw it. And we're watching. We're watching these socialist programs that you're putting in and that you're allowing, especially, let me say, to these governors. I think governors have really forgotten their role. As a governor, you are essentially more powerful than a president. But over the last few years, governors have handed over their power for security, money, the main reason, money. See, the federal government was never meant to be the leader of the entire country, to say what goes and what stays or whatever. That's what the states are for. The federal government has limited and defined powers, whereas states have infinite and numerous powers. But so many of you have been such snowflakes over the last few years, or just greedy bastards, that you have chosen money or some other whatever you've chosen, power, greed, whatever, any of the 7 deadly sins, I'm sure, over the good of your state. And many people don't see it because they are caught up with the frenzy. But a vast majority of us do see it. At this point, I think a 9-year-old, 8-year-old child could see how much of a sham this is. You just walk outside or look at what's going on. There's nobody sick. Okay, a couple hundred, and we know you're playing games. And especially as where we didn't get paid much of anything, but yet every single day worked our butts off, putting our lives on the line for essentially no money. It's obvious we didn't do it for money. And you can take the money away. But our American pride, our freedom, you can't buy it. Think about what you're doing. And other people need to think about who they're bowing down to.